Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and today we're playing Galactic Civilizations I Ultimate Edition, just called Galactic Civilizations in the menu here. This is one of the games that I've gotten free since I've started my YouTube channel, and for this November for Thanksgiving, I am showing off all the games I've gotten for free, trying them for about 30 minutes, seeing if there's something that will interest me or not. And so far, as of this recording, all these games were gotten free in normal ways that any general public person would have been able to win a free game through Twitter announcements, or just free games on the Humble Store or some other way, or just free on Steam. Occasionally that happens too. No video game company has directly given me a game to review or anything like that, but because I got it for free, I'm not very invested in this game. And that is specifically true for this game. While this looks good for a 2012 game, it's actually not that good looking, and it has some major flaws already. For something made in 2012, it should not be at a 4:3 ratio. The text should not be this small. It suffers from a consistent problem of, let's just go ahead and begin, of not being able to run on computers that when the higher DPI is set up. So in my setup, I have my computer plugged into a TV. The TV is 10 feet away. I have to then turn up the dots per inch on the fonts and things so that I can actually read the text. That doesn't work in a lot of games and causes the screen to get cut off. Pretty typical problem for things, for people that play with TVs plugged into their computers plugged into TVs. However, even with that fixed, which it is fixed now, there is a ton of text on the screen, and it is basically playing a spreadsheet. There's a lot of space games that are like this, where you have to pick your choices. Let's leave tutorial mode on. Let's see, add abilities. We have 10 points, so we could, I suppose, like courage and creativity and gifted defense and expert diplomacy, and just apply all of that. Didn't even see that when I first looked at this game. You get these pop-ups, you have some nice audio. There's a nice cutscene at the beginning explaining that this is a Star Trek-like future with stargates that ships can fly through. Win conditions: you can have cultural victory, technological victory, alliance victory, or alien technology victory, and several other star densities, and habitable planets are common. So you got a lot of setup to begin with, and then we can switch people to just random on everything. Or you can have the characters at their default things. And I guess storyline wise, as you're playing this game, you'd want everything to be the default. That way you know that the dragon of a empire is always chaotic good, and they're always foolish. Difficulty simple. I guess the difficulty might go up to more things as you make things more intelligent. Well, see, now the neutral and bright. Interesting. So you get these 3D pre-rendered cutscenes. I'll move the mouse. They look pretty good, but not good enough for 2012. This is really kind of a cheap production for when it was released. And there's a 2015 Galactic Civilizations III, and having seen this free version, if I like this style of gameplay, which I don't, let's just come out and say it, I might want to play Galactic Civilization 3 if it has more talking and removes a lot of the text. But mostly this is kind of a board game, and once we get to that part, like, this is the level of graphics you might expect from a TV show from like 25 years ago. So immediately before you even can play, as just a foolish person who wants to play, you're thrown this wall of text here. Just a complete wall of text. And this is your tutorial character. And then you stop that, and then we have another whole wall of menu that I have no idea what this even has to do with anything. I guess I am supposed to pick a theory, or so weapons theory, phasers and protons, or propulsion theory, cold fusion and artificial gravity, communications theory. Let's go with communications theory. And then we have to name our planet, or we can just leave it at Earth. And apparently we can purchase a ship, and apparently you can purchase the most expensive ship possible, and then click done, and finally you're into the menu, the real game. And the real game is, you're on this map that is really small for the beginning here. You probably can adjust that for more gameplay. There's a floating background that slides and parallaxes behind you. There's an incredible amount of information that isn't being explained here, and it's turn-based. So if I just right click, I go somewhere, and it goes in a number of spaces. And when you go somewhere, you might trigger something. We need a universal translator to talk to these people. So how do you get a universal translator? This seems to point out planets you have. This seems to point out ships you have. This seems to point out all kinds of civilization style things like tax rate that I assume you could just adjust. So even though you're flying a ship around, you also seem to be the person in charge of establishing taxes. And yeah, I just don't know what just happened there. Now, you can't just right click immediately. You need to click on something and then right click, and he ended up right where that circle was. Apparently we can send out survey ships, but I have no idea how. There's a large floating rock chunk. Let's get it. Our survey vessels can explore anomalies. Only survey ships. Deep within the anomaly, your research team is stunned across an abandoned starship using the interstellar know-how and the screwdriver. They hotwire the bad boy and get it going again. Nothing better than a free ship. And it seems like as soon as you do a survey of any kind, you get this cutscene. And this cutscene is cool and all, but you really need some voice acting in this. And it's just gonna loop, which that's kind of pointless. Let's see. The current position of the ship is out of range. We must set an autopilot course to friendly space. So that one's gonna autopilot back, and this one is going to go this way. And it feels like we might actually only be able to autopilot these ships unless we put a pilot in here. And there's just like a ton of information here that I'm not getting. And see, that ship just moved by itself. And this find button, I have no idea what it does. And you can see the screen is now being split between things. So half the map is limited. Let's see, communication theory research complete. If we are to trade. So now that we've accomplished communication theory, then we can try, let's see, universal translator, I guess. And it's going to take 3 months to translate that. And I don't think we can go far enough out to reach that. Only constructor vessels can travel there. So that's useless too. We've now finished the universal translator, so we can now make nano electronics, I guess. This feels very much like we're just kind of wasting our time, though. Not much of a game is happening here. We're not running into enemies. And we're just kind of searching an almost empty galaxy. It's taken us 15 minutes to get to this point. There is a concept for a style of a game like this. I would kind of hope it was either a very good Star Trek parody or an official Star Trek license. I mean, you could also do Star Wars or Babylon 5 even, or even Stargate, and any of those pretty popular series would be nice to have. But we're not talking aliens, we're not fighting aliens, and being in space and being alone doesn't strike me as being as very good. Let's see, people's morale is up by 2%. Okay. And this really feels like it's based off some kind of board game. Like, can't travel that far. Like, this feels like a dungeon master style game where, let's see, like we're getting reports and things, and you're having to do a lot of spreadsheets. I don't know why you would play this game and not just go play the very popular game that exists out there. What is that one called? There's a popular MMO that's extremely popular, but I've forgotten the name of it. It's run by a company in Iceland, and let's see. Well, whatever that game is called, it would be a much better move to play that. It does cost money, but you can earn money in game for the monthly membership, and I think you'd be playing with real people, and it would just be an ever improving experience, where this is a very stagnant experience. It's not going to improve at all. If you absolutely felt the need to play this series of games, you probably just want to skip to the newest one. Fleshling, your collective has claimed these worlds, in fear with our plans, and we will liquefy your species. So apparently we can't do anything with that. Like, either we don't have any warlike abilities at all, because I've chosen not to have any warlike. And you just seem to get in the way near these planets, and you talk to them. But yeah, there's just nothing here. Just play diplomacy. In the past 3 years alone, there's probably 3 or 4 different games that are space-based, and you would have a better experience. Apparently that one just ran away than this, just because it would have more variety, more things to do, more graphics. But also, I am certainly not the person to play a game like this. This really isn't even a style of game that you would want to give away for free, because it doesn't have a broad enough appeal. I mean, I really just feel like I'm playing a board game. I might as well be playing Monopoly. And let's see, we can get close to that planet, but nothing happens. And they're getting lost in a nebula. There we go. That ship looks like it's about to explode. And I have like no way of attacking. And so there, my ship got destroyed. And apparently my ship that was down here is trying to escape. Do you want to change your government to a republic? Sure, why not? And drones, trade, stellar cartography, industrial theory. 42 months remaining. Seems like a lot. And this guy, I have this ship, but I can't do anything with it. Like, that seems very odd. And typically, it wouldn't take me 30 minutes to play one level, or one game, but in this case, that's pretty obvious that that is the case of how things are going to go. Let's see, and we're just getting a ton of information. And I think I'm about to run out of money. Massive freighter has arrived with an incredible array of products and service. There we go. And so now we've got this council, and we could try to balance. The council, and I don't think that would work. Apparently we need a constructor. Maybe if we get this ship back to the other ship. Where's the other ship now? Like, there was a ship here and it disappeared. There it is. Finally. So this new ship only follows around when I'm around. So either I was autopiloting it or something else. So let's just see where this goes. Let's just turn. Something is chasing me. So I guess I need to keep moving. Like, turn. Just let it chase me, actually. Let's just see what happens. Like, let's see how this all is gonna end if we rush through all this. And then we got blown up. And it doesn't seem like it really matters if we get blown up. Apparently the game wants me to purchase a new ship. The music's good, the interface is awful. Unlike something like StarCraft, which is a real-time strategy, this is a turn-based strategy, and it loses, which kind of takes out a lot of the action and a lot of the controls. Also, I would argue that StarCraft 1 and 2 both have some tutorial at the beginning of it, and there's just kind of nothing like that here. Let's see, advanced diplomacy in 85 months. You can see these little ships happening. United Planets. And let's just pick something. Can we level up the council? Yes. And what are we doing here? Just pick something. So they want us to accept or reject something. Let's accept. Send. And then send. Then leave. It would be kind of ridiculous if I somehow succeeded here. Like, but there's just so much here. I'm just trying to click through all of this and see what would happen. And I imagine I should lose. But the game is just kind of playing itself. And then accept and send and then leave. And then way late in the game we have to make a choice. And that just tells me that you're gonna spend hours and hours playing one game of this. And without other people to play with, like, these events are coming very rarely. And I don't like that. I don't like that it took me nearly 30 minutes before I even saw some of this content. And I only got this far by just ending turns. See, I assume that the only reason why I'm even getting these diplomatic options is because I got advanced diplomacy. And so I've added this content, which is to say there's probably a lot more content that I haven't seen. Hit the spacebar. Wow. Though they have won the battle, attacking the mass structures has damaged image. He's home. The Atlantean Republic has conquered the Epsilon star system. And I am either still working on advanced diplomacy, or I'm not working on anything. Like, advanced diplomacy, 1,000 months remaining. Wow. So 1,000 turns? That seems like a lot. That seems like a crazy amount. And we're getting into things that we didn't even see. None of this has been tutorialized. You're honestly feel like you're gonna spend at least it feels like you're gonna spend at least 5 hours just trying to learn this game. And I don't feel like it's worth learning. I think you'd be better playing the latest version of this, and then if there was something that you were nostalgic for, or you wanted to maybe go back for more of a challenge, you would go back and play this. Apparently I have no defenses. And while I'm trying to spend 1,000 months developing advanced diplomacy, my planets are being captured and it's moving me around. The Terran Alliance has finally succumbed to the relentless power of the Atlantean Republic. There's less star system. Lestis has been taken over and the occupation forces have arrived and set up a provisional government. It is the end of the Terran Alliance as an independent power. And what's the game doing? So we lost, which is the right response, since I didn't actually play the game for many turns. And that's the lose scenario. So here's your military timeline. Let's see, overview, summary, and technology, military, economy, and social, and timeline. And which one is me? You'd have to know the symbols, wouldn't you? Let's just assume I'm the pink line because that's the one at the very bottom and I did nothing. So we all started at the beginning. The blue line went way up and everybody else went a lot higher than me. And I was losing influence. I did actually gain influence at one point. And apparently you can submit this to some kind of leaderboard and you have to put in an email address, and I'll just say no thanks to that. So, as somebody who's never played Galactic Civilizations and just giving it 30 minutes of a try, I don't see any reason why I would want to get into this personally. If somebody was a big fan of Star Trek and games like this, then maybe they would be willing to put in that time. But there's a considerably large amount of text with zero voice acting. The animation has some problems for being a 2012 game. 2012 means it's only 5 years old. This looks like a 10 or 15-year-old game. Playing the newer one probably would be a lot better. Playing at least Galactic Civilizations 3, if there's not a 4 out there somewhere, would make more sense. Although, if I could remember the name of the really popular one that's an MMO, that's probably going to suit you a lot better to play that, honestly. Maybe there's a board game and some people like the Galactic Civilizations board game and just want a digital version of this. I could see something like this being playable on an iPad, not an iPhone or a cell phone in general, but a tablet that had a big enough screen to see all of the interfaces. Take a turn or two while you're taking your daily commute and then getting back to it the next day. That would make sense, but as a single player experience, that this isn't something that really appeals to me. No major flaws, it seems, just a lack of tutorial, and that can certainly kill a lot of games, is if you just can't get into it, can't learn to play it, if you're just expecting the player to go to the website, which that's what this metaverse button does, is it just launches a website. You're asking way too much, and I had tutorial mode on and it didn't seem like it really tutorialized me at all. Well, that's it for Galactic Civilization. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want to friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.